Time for the 49ers Rush Podcast.
All right, guys, I'm not going to lie. I'm a little upset with the rankings and how they fell. We have 4 rankers, and I'm throwing them under the bus here, but I love them all. And shout out to Zach, Ben, Josh. We rank 4 separate times, and we don't get to see any of our rankings until we're all completely finished. Then we aggregate them, add them up, and whatever that number comes out to, that's where they fall. And Isaiah Hodgins, wide receiver, veteran wide receiver, comes in number 71 on the list. Now listen to these rankings. 81, 82, 71, and 51. I was the outlier for sure, but I concede. I think if there was a guy in this list in the 70s that I'm like, whoa, egregious, wrong, I think Isaiah Hodgins could be one of the wide receivers week 1. Not only one of the wide receivers, but could be the starter in 3 wide receiver sets week 1. A lot of that has to do with Ayuk being injured. When does the Demarcus Robinson suspension happen? There's rumors it happens in the middle of the season, which is the best case scenario. That happened week 1. Who knows? The NFL is so uncanny with where things go. But who is the wide receiver 3? Is it one of the young pups and Jacob Cowing, Jordan Watkins? A lot of people are talking about. Kyle Shanahan doesn't like trusting young wide receivers. Isaiah Hodgins is not that. He is entering into his 5th season, and the thing that separates him from a lot of the other 49ers wide receivers is just reliability and route running and contested catches. He is just a guy that bails out bad quarterback play. I really, really like this guy. Now, it's funny because, 72 was Isaiah Nair, so we got back-to-back Isaiahs, but back-to-back wide receivers. These 2 players couldn't be further from each other. They play outside wide receiver, both of them. But Isaiah Hodgins' ceiling is non-existent. He has a very high floor. Isaiah Nair's floor is non-existent. He has a very high ceiling. But when in doubt, especially early in the season, you go with trust factor. And that's what Isaiah Hodgins brings. He's wearing jersey number 18. Tall, 6'4", 201, 33 and 1/8-inch arms, long arms, 26 years old. It's funny because 26 is kind of like a seasoned vet in the 49ers wide receiver room. Yeah, you got Ayuk. Yeah, you've got Juwan Jennings who are older, but he's one of the older guys that are around. Not fast. Ran a 4.61. It's not awful. 7.01 3-cone. That's pretty solid. 36.5-inch vertical, good. 10.4 broad jump, good. Only 9 bench press reps. That's not great. You put all of his information. Listen to wide receivers that he's comps: Justin Ross, Muhammad Massaquoi, Brendan Rice, Jerry Rice's son, Mac Hollins. These outside wide receivers that lack elite physical traits, but they're still good football players. They are role players that get things done and are perfect in that number 4 to 5 wide receiver role for different NFL teams. That's just like, hey, when you need me, I'm there. I'm going to do what you need me to do. I'm going to get separation. I'm going to secure the contested catches. That's what he offers. Now, Isaiah Hodgins, local guy, Walnut Creek, California, went to Berenian Christian High School, the Eagles, then went to Oregon State. Born and raised in San Jose, played basketball, football, was the first all-defensive player on the basketball team. As a senior, dude balled out. 94 catches, 1,483 yards, 23 touchdowns with 4 punt returns, for a touchdown. This dude, touchdown scoring machine. Honor roll student all throughout high school. Was a 4-star recruit and started as a true freshman at Oregon State. Second team All Pac-12 in 2019. Holds several school records for receiving yards and touchdowns. This dude at Oregon State, he just balled out for the Beavers. Skipped his senior year and went to the NFL draft. And, one of the things that I came across for why I think the 49ers are really high on Isaiah Hodgins, dude played through injuries multiple times in his career. Now, the flip side of that coin is you don't want injured players. Well, the 49ers value very highly players that will play through injuries. It is a Kyle Shanahan staple, guys that will put the team first. And with the New York Giants, whenever they did make their playoff run, he had a badly injured foot. It was very well established. You could see it in his play, but the dude still went out there and played playoff football. That's a huge check, the positive category. 49ers love those culture-type guys. Was a speech and communication degree major. That's huge. And has been on and off practice squads. Gets drafted by the Bills in the sixth round, pick 207 of the 2020 draft. Spent the first 2 seasons on the practice squad. Had 3 games activated with them. And let's go back to that draft, the 2020 draft. He's drafted the 6th round. Here, so we've been doing this long enough. This is the 49ers rush pre-draft write-up on Isaiah Hodgins. I really liked him. Now, he had no elite traits, but he was a much better football player than athlete. Some of the best hands ever to come out of the draft. The dude had 1 drop on 118 targets and only 3 drops in his entire college career, 20 touchdowns. Had the highest contested catch rate in all of college football with a 67.4%. That's off the charts. And that has continued in his NFL career. Like, contested catches are a big deal. He gets separation, but he doesn't have to have separation because his hands are so good. Not a speedster, but runs good routes, fakes out corners often, amazing with double moves. He catches corners a lot. Hasn't translated in the NFL. Very savvy player, run blocking solid, loves to fake out corners with dead legs, same thing as Demarcus Robinson. Plays like a vet, his awareness is top-notch, zone killer. That was his pre-draft write-up. My player comparison was a poor man's Keenan Allen. I had a 3rd-round grade on him. He went in 6th round. The lack of elite traits is why he fell. Didn't really catch on with the Bills. Then he goes to the New York Giants for 2022, for 3 seasons, 2022, 2023, and 2024. 28 games played, 14 starts, 56 catches, 593 yards with a 10.6 yards per carry. 7 touchdowns, though. He's a red zone threat. Not a yak guy. Not a yak guy. He averages 10 yards per catch. He is a security blanket that you could throw to whether he's covered or not, and he's going to make the catch. He's a possession wide receiver that can move the chains and score touchdowns. That's it. That's what he brings. Only 2 missed tackles for his entire career. And predominantly an outside guy, not a big slot guy. 84% of his snaps in his NFL career, all from the outside wide receivers. So you can move him around a little bit, but this is an outside wide receiver. Injuries, 2020 had a shoulder issue, missed most of the season. 2021 had a knee issue, missed some playing time. A lot of minor, just kind of nagging stuff. Yeah, Draft Sharks, take this for whatever you want. Their injury predictor, 22.6%. Now, the 49ers signed him January 7th, 2025 for a 1-year, $1.1 million deal. No guarantees. That's kind of the big thing with the 2025 roster construction. We're not guaranteeing anything. You either are one of the top guys that get extended, and it's almost all guaranteed. Kittle, Warner, quarterback Brock Purdy. Everybody else, sorry, guys. You're playing for your job and your money. Now, you look at his career earnings as a 6th-round pick. His career earnings, $3.1 million. So he's playing for a lot. Dude can, match 30% of his salary this year if he can just make the roster. That's what he's got to do. Last year his numbers weren't great, but now let's look at the wide receiver depth chart because this is where it gets weird. Ayuk's out. He's going to be on the PUP. He's not going to count first the roster. Demarcus Robinson, is he suspended early? Middle of the season win. Your wide receiver starters, if all stays healthy, which we hope, Juwan Jennings, Ricky Pearsall. Who's the number 3 wide receiver for week 1 if Demarcus Robinson's out? Cowing? I don't think Jordan Watkins has a chance. I think this is where we get Isaiah Hodgins. I would prefer it to be Jacob Cowan. You want him to win that job because he has the high ceiling. Has 1 year been enough to fight for that? Isaiah Hodgins offers, he's got a ridiculous amount of starts, 14 career starts, 31 games played. Been there, he's done that. Is he electric? No. Dependable? Yes. We'll have to see what that, and I obviously can't bet on this, but Isaiah Hodgins should be in the mix. Can he catch on with special teams and offer a little bit more there? Sure, he's tough as hell. Big-bodied guy. Can play well in space. Change the direction's good. I think he could be out there on some kickoff return, things like that, and earn a role. It's just, man, who are going to be those wide receivers? Juan Jennings, Ricky Pearsall, Cowing. That's your 3. Jordan Watkins, but do you trust him? That's 4. Isaiah Hodgins, Russell Gage. And even if Isaiah Hodgins or Russell Gage don't make the 53-man roster, they could be the guys that are elevated from the practice squad, like we've seen with Willie Snead, like we've seen with Trent Taylor, like we've seen with some of those veteran wide receivers that get called up and can be that number 5, number 6 guy. Are you really, really worried about a team sniping Isaiah Hodgins if he doesn't make your 53? These are the questions that you kind of got to wrestle with if you're the 49ers. Now, to complicate things further, what if one of these young bucks come out and steal the show? Whether that's Junior Bergen, who is a 7th-round returner, but, like, where's he fit in the wide receiver room? Isaiah Nayer, who we just talked about, high upside, like, good Lord. Malik Knowles, that dude is a tackle-breaking machine, electric. You don't have that on this roster anymore. Tariq Owens, there's competition. But Shanahan likes trust vets, guys that he knows will be where he wants them to be. Isaiah Hodgins. That's why I think he kind of has the inside track to this number 3, number 4, number 5 wide receiver role early on. I don't know how it's going to play out. But seeing the number 71 next to Isaiah Hodgins on this roster countdown, I'm just like, this is wrong. I feel like this is wrong. I think he should have been in the 50s. I ranked him 51, but we'll see. And that's the thing. Like, everybody thinks that a different wide receiver has the inside track. I'm betting on Isaiah Hodgins personally because it's so early in the season. So we'll see how it shakes out. And shout out to Josh, Ben, and Zach. They're the best. And, you know, but sometimes we disagree. We got to see how it shakes out. But I'm going to be true to the rankings. Be true to the team, even if I disagree, and that's okay. I love those guys. They're the best there is. But Isaiah Hodgins, 71. I'm betting on him making this roster. Even if it's not the initial 53, I think the chance is probably better than 50% that he is activated for that week 1 game against Seattle. Division opponent, man. Hard to trust a young buck there. Hopefully Jacob Cowan wins that job. But still, Isaiah Hodgins, somebody that can give you some versatility, some dependability at that position, having done it before. All right, that's going to do it. And for us, the 49ers Rush team, we're just going to keep counting them down.